What's up, guys and gals? Mirrormask here. Got a little update on Blade and Soul on the English patch. Things are coming along pretty nicely. I'll show you a couple of things that have changed recently in the past few days that have been patched in and everything. As you can see, I'm on my destroyer class here. I'm in the desert zone. I'm currently level 29, and I'm just parking in for a little bit. I'm gonna play a Force Master for a little while. Force Master, oh my god, is so much DPS in such a short amount of time. It's insanely fun to play. But back to the topic. If you look at some of my skills here, you'll notice something different from in the last video. Hovering over some of these skills, as you can see, it tells me flat out what the damage is now. It tells me things like the distance and stuff is translated. It tells me that it's an instant cast, it's an instant cooldown. This one's almost completely translated. As you can see, the requirements are still in Chinese, but it's getting there. Let me find a specific one. Okay, like this one, backflip. As you can see right here, it's all translated pretty much. Removes knockdown, weaken, yada yada yada. I mean, that's all in English now. This one says continue to next Dragon S team. That's translated. This right here it tells me that my movement speed will be increased by 80%. Down here it tells me that the damage is translated. It tells me that my defense will go up by 400% while I'm spinning. This one over here, some of this is translated. So, I mean, the point I'm making is that finally the skills are starting to be translated, which is a huge benefit, because a lot of the thing is, you may, like, look at my weapon, for example. The weapon is almost entirely translated. Same thing on the jewelry. Some of the bow pie pieces are completely translated almost. So yeah, I mean, it's coming along nicely. I mean, see, these are things that are important to, an English speaker is, yeah, I can look at numbers and I can see percents and all that stuff. All that, numbers are numbers, no matter what, where you're from. Numbers are numbers. But the thing is if you don't know what the numbers are or what the numbers are doing, you don't know really how to optimize. You don't know what goes together. You don't even know what skills are doing what.
请在任务快捷栏中点击标题。
I'll let her talk for a second. But yeah, now that the skills are being translated, it makes it so much easier to figure out what skills do what skills to use after certain skills. As soon as they get like the little states and stuff, like right here, the requirements, as soon as these get translated, because see, some of the little symbols right here in the requirements, I don't really know what those are, and I don't know what procs them. I don't know things like that. Once things like all that's translated, then as English speaking people playing this game, we'll be able to figure out, and we'll have a fighting chance, so to speak. Because I tried some PvP the other day. I did a short little video on some of it, and then me and Von Brewer went out to the desert zone and we tried some ganking and stuff. And the problem we found is that the Chinese players who can read this stuff and who know what skills do what skills break what stun locks, stuff we don't know because we can't read it, it gives them just a huge advantage in PvP. I mean, you'd be surprised how much of advantage it gives them. You would think you'd be able to figure this stuff out, but like I said, I mean, some of these requirements, some of these prerequisite states and stuff like that, if you don't know what they are, you don't know what procs them, you don't know how to proc them. So some of these skills, you can't even use to their full potential. But anyway, it's coming along nicely. I know it's, it takes a lot of work to get this stuff translated and all, but I'm super happy that some of this stuff's being translated finally. Now on the Force Master, I looked through some of the skills there, and it doesn't look like that class has been focused on so heavily yet, and the summoner hasn't been focused on so heavily yet. Now, a lot of these things, you can find these skills online that are translated from like the Korean version or something like that, but the problem is when they're translated from a language that doesn't use the same sentence structure as English, when you translate them directly over into English, it's just random words sometimes, and sometimes it translates into completely different words than what we're used to seeing a skill does. So sometimes the translations come across weird and they don't make any sense because they're translated in that sentence structure directly into English words, word for word. It doesn't, it's like figures of speech. Over here in America, we use a lot of idioms and figures of speech that don't make any sense in other countries. Like, for example, if a skill in English was like, oh, this is a cool skill, it's cool. It's cool. Everybody in English speaking countries know what it's cool means, but in other countries, they don't know what that catchphrase is. Some countries do. Some countries have no idea. Like, I remember when I went to Korea a couple of times, I used to say it's cool a lot, and some of the Korean people over there who knew a little bit of English they're like, it's not cold outside. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, oh no, and I had to explain it to them. It's the same kind of thing, that's the point I'm getting at, is when the skills translate directly over into English, they don't make sense. So yeah, I know it takes a lot of work to translate it and then redo the sentence structure and put it to where we will understand it, but they're working very hard on it and it's coming along nicely. Another huge bit of information that I want to give you guys right now is a piece of software that got kickstarted about maybe a year ago or so, and I put in some money to the Kickstarter and everything because I thought this was it was a revolutionary piece of software, and it really is. And I just picked up a copy of it today. It went on sale. It's almost 50% off. It retails regularly for about 40 or 50 bucks, but it's on sale now for $24.99, so right at 25 bucks. And the software is called Connectify Dispatch, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I got the pro version, which you can get that for like 25 bucks right now. Just look up Connectify Dispatch on Google and you'll find their website, and right now they've got a special going on, a Christmas special, and you can get it for
收到了新信件哦，请在任务快捷栏中点击标题。
No idea what she said. But yeah, go to their site, Google Connectify Dispatch, you'll find the site. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about what this software does if you're not familiar with it. It benefits people like me a great deal in the location that I'm at right now because of the fact that I cannot get internet any faster than a 1.5 DSL line with about a 750 kilobyte upload speed. It's about the max that I can get at this location. Well, what this software does is it allows you on your end, not the ISP's end, on your end to combine internet from different locations. Like, for example, if I had a DSL line and a 3G cell phone connection, well, I could plug the DSL into my Ethernet port, and I could use my Wi-Fi card to connect to my mobile phone hotspot, and then this software Dispatch will take the two internet connections, combine them into one faster internet connection. Now, how can this be useful? Well, for example, as a lot of you may know, I've mentioned it a couple of times, on the 15th, which is Sunday, I'll be going up to Canada, to Toronto, to see my girlfriend for about a month, and the only internet that I'll be able to get up there is prepaid USB sticks, and they cap out at 10 gig a month bandwidth, which I know is not good if you're a gamer. I mean, you can burn through that literally in a day downloading one game. But what I plan on doing is, now that I have this software, I'm going to get 2 or 3 of these USB dongles. I'm going to plug them all into my USB hub, and then I'm going to use Connectify Dispatch to combine all of them together. So I'll have 3 4 meg USB sticks. Now I have one single 12 meg download bandwidth, and the upload will be probably around 2 to 3 meg upload, which is insanely cool. Now, if you live in a location, for example, where maybe a 25 meg down, 10 up, or maybe 5 up or 4 up, and that's all you can get, that's the fastest you can get at your location. There's no way possible you can get anything faster. Well, if you got the extra cash to spend to get a second DSL line or a second cable line or a second whatever line, you can get that. You can set up, like, for example, one wireless router and one Ethernet router. Now they have to be separate routers because it has to be 2 completely separate internet sources. You can plug one into your Ethernet port, connect your wireless card to the other. Now you combine that 25 and 25, and now you have a 50 meg download. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, this software is crazy cool. I watched a couple of videos on it, and there's one video where this group of people took 8 wireless cards. Like, I mean, if you have a USB hub, for example, like I have a 13 port, and I could take literally, let's just be theoretical here, I could take 13 USB dongle cards, not like 3G or nothing, but you know, just the adapters, the wireless adapters, and I could fill up every single one of them ports. I could have 13 wireless cards on my hub, and then I could walk into a business center, for example, or a very populated place where there's a bunch of open wireless networks. Well, I could connect each one of those wireless cards to a separate internet source, and they'll all show up in dispatch, and I'll bind them all together, and now I've pulled all these internet sources, which may be slow individually, but now I've pulled them all together, and now I have one, you know, super fast pipeline of bandwidth. And you know, that's cool, and that's, you know, that's something that I wanted to share with you guys, but I didn't want to share it until I'd actually tried it myself and I had a copy for myself. I didn't want to recommend it to my viewers or anyone who may see this video if I hadn't tried it yet. And I've tried it.
收到了新信件哦，请在任务快捷栏中点击标
whatever
题。
she's saying. But yeah, I've taken one of my cell phones, I've taken my DSL, and I took a USB dial-up modem, and I connected the modem over the phone line. I did the DSL, and I linked my I turned my phone into the hotspot, and I ran all 3 connections through there and combined it all up, and I actually saw some pretty decent gains. I mean, not a whole lot, but I mean, it doesn't take a whole lot to be significant gains on a 1.5 DSL line, but it was registering at about, normally it sits around 1.36, maybe it'll reach up to around 1.5, but I was actually seeing 1.7, 1.8 on speed tests and stuff, which it no way possible that could have came from just my DSL. So I mean, it pulled the internet bandwidth from my phone and from the dial-up and from my DSL, and it combined it, and it was awesome. So I plan on using that when I go up to Toronto. Now, another thing, when I go up to Toronto, I want to make some videos and stuff. I'll probably make some more Blade and Soul videos and maybe try another game or two. I may try the EverQuest Landmark, which I think that comes out December 18th. So I'll be up there and I'll have to download it. Depending on how big it is, I may not download it, just because, you know, if I get up there and I burn up all my bandwidth, because I'm capped at 10 gigs, combined 20 gigs, but, you know, if I burn it all up in the first day or two, then I got to spend the rest of the time without any internet, which would suck. So I may or may not download that, depending on the size of it. But Just to give you guys a heads up, I won't have my fancy green screen set up or anything. It'll probably just be, you know, the webcam on my laptop, which is a 720p webcam, so it won't be like crappy looking, but I'll probably have a wall behind me or something like that, or maybe some furniture or pictures, or I don't know. And I won't have my ATR 2500. Instead, I went ahead and got one of the Samsung Meteor mics, the one that looks like a little spaceship with the fold out legs and everything, and I'm looking forward to trying that. Probably do a review video on that or something like that. But just letting you guys know, you know, for the next month, well, almost month, 20 something days, I won't have my fancy setup or anything, but I'll still try to put out some good quality videos for y'all to entertain you and everything. And yeah, definitely Google Connectify Dispatch. Check this software out. I highly recommend it. Right now they got the promotion going on. You can get it for like 25 bucks. Now 25 bucks is a lifetime license for it. You can lease it for 1 year at a time, or you can just flat out buy a lifetime license for it for like 25 bucks at the moment. So I don't know how long the deal is going to last for, but yeah, hopefully you guys will see the video in time and pick it up if you think it sounds interesting. Now, in my opinion, even if you're happy with your internet at your house and you're happy, or at your apartment or wherever you're at, think of other uses for it. For example, like if you go out of town and you take your laptop or something like that with you, and you know, you're sitting at a hotel and the hotel across the street's got free internet, and the one next to this hotel's got free internet, and you're able to see all those networks. Well, now you can just get a USB hub, you know, get a couple of those $5 little USB sticks. You know, they're pretty cheap these days. Just plug them all into a USB hub, and then, you know, turn your software on and pull all that internet in from all these different locations around you. Or if you're at a coffee shop in town or something like that, you know, same thing. You know, coffee shop here has internet, the coffee shop across the street has internet, maybe some business has some internet that has an open network. You just hang outside the coffee shop and yank all that internet bandwidth in and combine it, and now you got a good pipeline. So, you know, just, you know, something to think about. But I have no affiliate links or anything like that. I don't make any money recommending this software. I'm highly impressed with it. I mean, I really am. It's a revolutionary piece of software, I think. I mean, it's awesome. I give it 2 thumbs up. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up now. Take all this off.
收到了新信件哦，请在任务快捷栏中点击标题。
There we go. I'll end it with that. So you guys make sure to comment on the video. Anything you want to see in Blade and Soul, just ask in the comments. Subscribe to me on YouTube if you haven't yet. Check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/mirrorlore. I'll try to live stream some while I'm up in Toronto. I don't know exactly what bandwidth I'll have, so I don't know. I probably won't be streaming in 720p, but I'll probably have good enough connection to make a really good 480p live stream. So, you know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe 480p at 60 frames a second, something like that, with some good bit rate on it. But anyway, that's it. I'm gonna wrap the video up. You guys take care. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe.